Evening health seekers, Inga from Health Origins here. Today I'm going to start a 3-part cheese series. Today I'm going to make 2 types of cheeses. So one is going to be a spreadable soft cheese, and another one is going to be cheese sauce. Okay, and I'm going to be making both of the cheeses with no oil whatsoever. Okay, so let's get going. So for the first cheese, spreadable soft cheese, we're going to be using soaked cashews as the base. So you need to soak cashews for, I would say, at least 3 hours, or you could do overnight. I've done mine overnight. Or if you're really stuck for time and you haven't soaked them but yet you want to make it straight away, what you can do, you can pour hot or boiling water on them and leave it for half an hour, and that should soften enough as well. So we've got a cup of soaked cashews, I've got some lemon juice, I've got some nutritional yeast flakes, I have some salt, I've got some garlic powder, onion powder, and that is kind of your main soft cheese. But then I've got some roasted marinated pepper and a bit of a chipotle powder. So we're going to be making kind of a peppery, smoky cheese, spreadable cheese. Okay, so this is the first cheese, so let's get going. So for this cashew based soft cheese, I'll be using a tall jug and handheld stick blender. I kind of prefer doing it that way because if you're doing like a thick paste, which this is going to be like a thick paste, if I use my Thermomix blender, it just sticks to the sides a lot and I need to keep on scraping it a few times. So I prefer doing it in this jug instead. So I'm going to add the cashews. I'm going to add about 2-3 tablespoons of lemon juice. So it depends obviously how big or small the lemon is. So that's about 1. I'm kind of not measuring precisely anymore because it normally turns out great anyway, but I've got approximate measurements. So that's about 2.5 tablespoons of lemon juice. Okay, so I'm gonna put in half a teaspoon of salt for now, and then we'll check whether it needs any more. Then also I'm gonna add half a teaspoon of garlic powder. For this one you could also use fresh garlic if you wanted to. So it's basically kind of very similar recipe to what I do my cheese pesto, like a cashew pesto that I've got a recipe on. So basically it's the same, as just except that I'm using a powdered garlic in this recipe, but you could use like a clove of an actual fresh garlic. And also I'm going to use a good teaspoon of onion powder. And for my cashew basil recipe, cashew pesto recipe, I would use spinach and I would use basil. So in this one I'm just going to make a basic cheese, but also then we'll mix in some pepper, you know, marinated pepper like I said, and some chipotle powder. Okay, so and don't forget your nutritional yeast. That's an important ingredient which actually makes your mixture taste cheesy. So I like it quite generous, so I put like 3 generous tablespoons of nutritional yeast, and we're gonna blend it up until it's you know, the consistency we like. So as you can see, it's very thick consistency. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add a bit of olive brine. You could add just water if you wanted to. So I'm going to add about a couple tablespoons of olive brine now. I'll add just 1 tablespoon to start with, and then we'll see if I need any more. So I've blended it for a couple of minutes and got myself a fresh spoon, and I'm going to do a little taste test. It's really, really good. Really cheesy and tangy and quite salty, but that's what you want from cheese. You know, you're not going to put too much on your bread slice or wherever you're going to be using the spreadable cheese. So it's really good. So now I'm gonna add the marinated pepper, as I said, and the Chipotle chili smoked powder. So I'm gonna add 1/4 teaspoon of Chipotle chili powder because I don't want it too hot. We can't handle too much spice, so I think that'll be definitely enough. And then I'll also add 1 of the marinated roasted peppers as well, and then give it a good blend. So I have blended this for about a couple of minutes. It's nice pink color. So let's give it a try. This is really, really good cheese. So I'm gonna put that in a jar, and we're gonna get on with the other cheese, which is a cheese sauce made from boiled vegetables mainly, and no oil. So on to the next cheese. This is very exciting cheese because it's not needing any nuts, which can be quite expensive. It's just literally made from boiled vegetables. Okay, so I've got steamed potatoes, so about 2 kind of medium potatoes steamed here, and I've got 2 carrots also steamed, quite big carrots, these ones actually. The variation of this you could do zucchini instead of carrots. Basically you need both potatoes and carrots really, because if you do just with potatoes alone, the cheese will not be as well, the cheese sauce is not going to be as silky. The carrots give like the silkiness to it, the same as zucchini. So with zucchini you would need to chop it up into pieces and bake it on about 200 or 180 for about 15 minutes, 15-20 minutes, until it's kind of just a little bit kind of baked, and then you just continue on with the recipe. So what we're going to do, so we'll need, like I said, boiled or steamed vegetables. I've also got the nutritional yeast flakes as usual. I forgot a lemon. There we go, got my lemon as well. Basically nutritional yeast and lemon is what makes for a cheesy flavour. So you can basically mix any kind of veggies. You could use cauliflower for potatoes as well, and any kind of veggies, and if you add nutritional yeast and a bit of lemon, it'll give it a cheesy flavour. I've also got the spice mix, so I've got a tablespoon of onion powder. It's a little bit bitty, so I'll be using a little sieve to kind of sieve it out. I've got also half a teaspoon of smoked paprika, a quarter of a teaspoon of Chipotle chili powder. So we're going for like smoky pepper flavour today. So yeah, so onion, garlic, smoked paprika and Chipotle chili powder. Also I've got a little bit of turmeric as well, so we'll probably put like a half a teaspoon of turmeric to give it like nice kind of goldeny colour as well. That, and also some salt, so we'll be adding some salt too. So yeah, so let's get started. So just basically I'll be using my Thermomix blender. You can use whatever, you know, blender you've got. Obviously the more powerful, the smoother your sauce will come out. So I'm going to add the steamed vegetables in the bowl. I'm gonna put in the spices. So if your onion granules have kind of also gone like a bit bitty, so you could just put it in a little sieve and just squeeze through a little sieve with the tablespoon, just to get it all evenly in there. I guess because we are blending, we could just probably put it all in and it'll probably blend itself out. But I'm doing this just to make sure there's no any lumps left. So I'm gonna put about half a teaspoon of salt for now. Gonna put half a teaspoon of turmeric powder and about a quarter of a teaspoon of Chipotle chili powder, because we don't like our food too spicy, so just this is to give it a little tiny kick and like smoky flavour. The smoky flavour also comes from the paprika.
And that's, guys, where I realised that I put in extra Chipotle chili powder. Oops.
I'm gonna add I'm gonna add 3 big tablespoons of nutritional yeast. So now we're gonna add the lemon. So I would say about 2 to 3 tablespoons. So we'll do 2 tablespoons and taste it. So here it's about just over 2 tablespoons, I think. So I'm gonna put the lid on and blend this for a little bit. Oh, and I forgot to add that we need some kind of liquid, so I'm adding half a cup of warm water. That should help blend, and if we need any more, then we can add some more. So yeah, so the sauce is still very thick, so I'm going to add another half a cup of water and continue blending. And you might need to stop and scrape the sides of your blender as well. So here you go, look at this golden deliciousness. It's been blending for 2 minutes, so it's quite nice and thick, the sauce. Yeah, so if you wanted your sauce runnier, you could always add more water, or you could even put some olive brine, like I like adding. Oh, I've just tasted the cheese sauce, and it definitely needs more salt, and I actually made it a bit too spicy because I've put a double chipotle powder. So it is very spicy, much spicier than we're used to, but we'll see if we could, you know, use just little bits of it for different recipes, so it shouldn't be too bad. So half a teaspoon of salt. And also when I tasted the sauce, it's not quite as tangy as I would like to. Sorry guys for adding, you know, bits of this and bits of that. I will put all the final recipe at the bottom of the video. However, that's how I normally kind of make things. I just put a few things, you know, taste it, then see what's, you know, missing, whether it's like saltiness, whether it's sourness or sweetness, or, you know, or anything. And then kind of tweak the recipe to where it's tasting how I like it. So I'll add 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar and blend for one final time. So there we go. This should be the completed cheese sauce. So we're gonna pour. Look at that, how nice and golden it's from the carrots and turmeric. It's lovely. So you can use this cheese sauce whether for macaroni and cheese, for example, you know, pasta bake things, you know, put it on rice, on vegetables. Just, yeah, be inventive, because this cheese sauce adds really, you know, nice flavour to any kind of dish. So I'll get that cleaned out, and we're gonna ask Mark for his opinion, which cheese he prefers. So here we've got our taste tester.
Hi guys.
I've got 2 cheeses for you, darling.
Yummy.
One is the Spreadable smoked pepper cashew based cheese. Very similar to the one that we have, the pesto, you know, like the basil and spinach one.
Oh yeah.
So this is just kind of pepper one. And this is the vegetable based, no oil cheese sauce, if you like. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So, and unfortunately to this one I've done double the spices that we're used to, so it's got quite a bit of a kick, that one. Okay. So if you want to, I'll get you a couple of new spoons. So.
Yummy. Right. Go for this one first.
You got a little.
Keep that bit for later. That's really good. Yummy. Okay. Now for this. Oh, it's got a bit of a kick at the back now, just a slight one. Well, nice. And now the cheese sauce. Quite smooth. It's a bit spicy.
So if you guys like spice, then, you know, half a teaspoon of Chipotle chili powder will be just up your street, but it's definitely way too spicy for what
Probably
we're
a little
used
bit
to.
too much for me, but flavour's really nice. It's nice and smooth, and actually the kick comes in at just the right point. Just a little bit too much for me.
Yeah. And you wouldn't eat this one alone. You could, you know, eat this, you know, alone or with bread and things. But this one, the cheese sauce, I would say you would need to eat with pasta, you know, rice, or, you know, vegetables or something. So then it'll distribute, and the heat hopefully is not going to be too much. So
my hot tip is this one. This is really nice. If I could, I would eat the whole lot, but Inga will give me wrong. So I won't. But
So,
yeah, that's really, really tasty.
Yeah. So guys, try it. So this is the part 1 of the 3-part cheese series, which is like quite a popular topic amongst vegans, because you know this is one thing it's hard to give up, isn't it? When you transition, normally people say I can, you know, do without everything, just not cheese. So there you go. So that's why I thought I'll bring the 3 series of cheeses, and let me know when you try them and see which one is your favorite. Did you try something with the cheese sauce? Did you do pasta bake or something? So yeah, just let me know in comments below, and subscribe for more for the other 2 parts of the cheese series and for other videos. See you next time.
Bye guys.